What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. So I received a question on Instagram on my question sticker that I thought I'd answer on here. The question is, how many weeks to stay at your calories at the end of a reverse before cutting? So the question is, once I build up my calories and get my food higher, how long do I stay there before cutting again? There's a couple different reasons why you would reverse diet. So just quickly want to list those off first so we understand kind of what that even means. So a reverse diet is simply just dieting in the opposite direction. It's adding calories into your diet in an incremental fashion over time, the same way that you would go through a deficit, right? Dropping calories every so often, like every 2 to 4 weeks, over a period of months so that you're losing body fat. A reverse diet is the same thing, just in the opposite direction going up. Okay, so now that we understand that, there's two instances where you would want to reverse diet. One being when you're finished going through a cut, a normal diet, right? And you're cutting calories, you're getting lower and lower and lower on calories so that you're in a deficit and can lose body fat. One of the reasons you would reverse diet is to get out of that place of being in low calories, right? You finish the cut, now it's time to reverse diet. You go up in calories incrementally over 2, 3, 4 months, and the question is, how long do I stay here before I cut again? So again, I said there was multiple reasons you would reverse diet. That's one. Number two would be actually to begin the process of a deficit. For clients that are overweight, clients that need to get into a deficit, but they're just eating too low of calories. And again, I'm gonna give you guys some real tangible examples here in a second. I got my laptop. I'm gonna give you some actual client examples. For some people that come over to us and they're eating way too low of calories, but they do need to lose body fat. They have 10, 15, 20, 30 plus pounds to lose, but they're only eating 1,600, 1,500, even 1,700 calories, even 1,800, okay? I don't think I've ever started someone on a cut that's eating less than 2,000 calories. We reverse diet first, okay? And some of these people will actually lose weight from this because it's going to, it's going to increase your metabolic rate and how much food and energy you can actually expend now that you're eating more, which actually can put you in a deficit. But regardless, your calories need to be worked up so that you can cut successfully. And cutting successfully, you need a window of time where you can actually lose weight by cutting calories incrementally. If you don't have space to cut calories incrementally because you're starting at, like I said, 1,900 or below for your deficit, then it's not going to go very well. You're not going to be able to cut for very long, and you're not going to be able to stay in a deficit for very long and see success dieting. So this is exactly what we do with our clients. We set up a lot of clients for successful fat loss by reverse dieting first. And then the clients that go through successful fat loss, we also utilize reverse dieting to get them out of that low calorie range into a higher calorie range where they can maintain their fat loss results and continue to build more muscle. So first, I'm gonna just quickly give myself as an example. I have not dieted since 2021. Once I finished that, I did reverse. I think I got down to about 2,400 calories. I started at about like 3,800 calories. And then I reversed back up to around the same amount. Currently, I am out of shape. I have not worked out. For almost a full year now, I've been battling Lyme disease and I've had multiple surgeries. So this is where I'm at currently. You can see that I've lost some muscle. I've put on a little bit of body fat, but it's not enough that warrants going into a cut, okay? So I have been maintaining where I'm at currently on lower calories than I was when I was training before I stopped training, right? So I'm probably eating around like 3,000 to 3,200 calories now. Before I was eating around like 3,200 to 3,700 calories while I was training. So I don't need to cut because even though I gained some fat, even though I lost some muscle, I'm still in a good enough place to just focus on building. So I'll reverse diet and slowly bring those calories up to where I was and continue to build. Now let's break out some client examples here. So I'm gonna pull up my client Bethany, who I just showed on my story yesterday. She's crushing it, front squatting 135 for reps. She's getting up there for reps. She's at 5 right now, but she's gonna get up there for like 6 to 10 reps in a couple weeks. Getting really strong. This is what she currently looks like. Now, Bethany's been with me for 2 years, and I will pull up her weight trend here to show you guys what it looks like over those 2 years. So initially we kind of maintained at somewhat of a higher calorie intake. She actually came to me eating a sufficient amount of calories, and so we kind of maintained there and then went into a cut. As you can see, we lost some weight, then we reversed, then we cut again, and this is where she was really successful with this cut. And then we reversed again, and now we're maintaining here. So Bethany, for reference, you guys, is 5'6", I believe. Yep, 5'6". And like I said, she was starting off eating around 2,400 calories on average coming to me, which is pretty good. I actually brought her down to 2,200. So I think that actually initially was a very, very slow cut when we got this weight down here. We reversed and legit maintained the whole time pretty much. We got up a little bit, but not too much. So very successful reverse, and then we cut again because she still had some body fat to lose. So you can see in her before picture here when she just got started, when you look at this physique, you can tell that there's an amount of body fat that needs to come off before we can just focus on sticking to a build. Okay, which is what we're doing now, right? So she started here, she got to here, and now because she's here, there's no point in cutting again. Like, let's focus on freaking building some muscle. That way the next time we cut, it's like jaws on the floor, like, holy shit, look at the difference here. That's not gonna happen unless you put in the time. So I literally just talked to Bethany this week. She's doing great. She's happy with where she's at, and she's more than content with sticking to the plan right now, which is not cutting this year. We're gonna go a full year focusing on building, eating at these higher calories. She's at 2,500 calories right now, and the focus is just on getting strong and improving in the gym. Like I said, you know, working on front squats, working on these bigger lifts, where we're really focusing on improving in the gym. Too many of you guys' focus is just seeing the scale go down, getting leaner. That's all you ever want to do, right? But if the majority of the time you focus on actually your performance in the gym, all of that other stuff will work itself out, I promise you. Moving along to another client example here. Let's go with Shelly. So this is Shelly's before and after as of right now. Shelly has also been with me for, let's see, almost 2 years, I believe now. Started in September 21, so a little under 2 years, but we're working towards, towards that time frame. Throughout this time frame with Shelly, just real quick, Shelly for reference is a little bit taller. Shelly is 5'9". She's 29 years old, and I'm gonna show you exactly what we did, right? When we reversed, when we cut, why we did that. As you can see, once again, Shelly came to me. She had a level of body fat that said, we need to get this off before we focus on maintaining and building, right? So you guys can see that here, right here in this photo. And so what we did, she actually came to me eating about 1,700 calories. So we slowly reversed over the first 6 months of coaching. For that entire 6 months, we got up from 1,800 calories all the way up to 2,495. So about 2,500 calories there, guys. So from 1,700 to 2,500 over the 6 months, focusing on getting stronger, working with her on her form in the gym, making sure she's improving. And then after that, so here's the reverse. She gained weight. So 163 starting point. You can see she dropped a little bit. Remember that I said if you reverse, you can actually lose weight in some instances. This is because she started performing better. Her output for her body was better. She was able to, have a higher NEAT because she has more calories and her body is willing to move around more. And this can actually cause you to be in a caloric deficit at the end of the day, even though you're eating more food, because so many different things go into your energy expenditure rather than just what goes into your mouth and then how much you're sweating and calories you're burning during your weight training session. All right, so little tangent there, but you can see she dropped weight and then she gained weight, right? This was totally fine. Only up 2 total pounds in 6 months. From going from 1,700 calories to 2,500 calories. That is freaking awesome. Then, as you can see, we went into a deficit. And guys, this is what I'm talking about with how we utilize reverse dieting to set up for successful cuts. This is a prime example of this. 6 full months of adding calories, 6 full months of dealing with the fact that she was at a higher body fat that she preferred, that she didn't like the way that she looked, but she was in it. She was in it to win it, and she trusted me, guys. And so gaining 2 pounds over the course of 6 months did not deter her. And that's why Shelly's such an amazing client. I love working with Shelly. And So I love clients like that who are just willing to sacrifice the time that it takes to get to where they want to go. So as you can see, after the 6 months, we started cutting and the weight just flew off. She's down almost 20 total pounds here. And then from there, we reversed. Once again, her weight got up a lot, but as you guys can see, and this is a really cool picture here, I'll share this. Here's a photo of Shelly at the same exact weight that she started versus the same exact weight about 13, 14 months later. You guys can see the crazy difference in body composition. So the scale is not always everything. And a lot of times your dream physique can weigh a lot more than you thought it would. So yes, we gained a lot of weight back with the reverse. Whether that was the goal or not, I mean, you're never trying to gain a certain amount of weight. It just kind of happened, right? And she continued to look good. I continued to be happy with how she looked. I do not just focus on the scale. I focus on everything. She was still improving in the gym. All of that stuff, guys. When Shelly started, this is what she was doing on chin-ups. She could barely do anything. Like, you guys can see, you're watching it right now. And then from there, she went to this and just started repping them out like a boss, right? So we're assessing these things. We're assessing what is happening, what is going into changing the body composition. It's literally more than just the scale. So you have to be focused holistically, well-rounded approach here. All right, anyway, so we did 6 months reverse, 6 months cut, about, give or take. Then we did reverse. Like I said, we're coming up on it'll be like a full 2 years in September. We reversed and now we're starting to cut again, okay? So I believe we stopped cutting probably around September of last year. So November, December, January, February, March, April. So it's been about 6 months reversing. Shelly has some events that she wants to lean down for. I do consult with my clients if they have particular events coming up and they want to get in shape. This does not mean I will always sort of allow this because I have your end goal in mind. Shelly's in a good position to where her body's been responsive to everything and it's been a sufficient amount of time. She's worked with me long enough so we can go ahead and take this time to cut down again. But I do have clients like someone I just spoke to the other day. Her name's Rachel. She just has not been with me long enough and not been reversing long enough to award that time to cut. She wants to get leaner for a swim meet, but she's only been working with me for 3 months and we've got her calories up from 1,800 all the way up to 2,500 with very little weight gain. So that is, oh man, it's just an example like this, right? So if I had pulled Shelly out of that reverse early and not gone the full 6 months, her transformation might not have looked like that. So I don't want that for Rachel. I want Rachel to have just as good of a transformation as Shelly. So that's why I told her I'm not going to cut her this summer. We're going to continue to reverse and put in the time, even though it's not what she wanted to hear. But again, she's another good client. She's willing to listen to me and trust me, and that's what we're doing. So just kind of wanted to give you kind of that sidebar understanding of how each client is different, right? And how I'm coaching every single client in a different way. Even though there's similar situations, they all differ, and they all should be coached differently. So I hope that was some good information with you guys for the reverse dieting, why you would do it, who you would do it for, when you would do it, how long you would maintain. Again, I just want to pull up the question here again, because the question was how many weeks to stay at your calories at the end of a reverse before cutting. So now that you guys understand everything there is about reverse dieting, you have some client scenarios, you have my scenario, you understand the 2 reasons why you would reverse diet. I just touched on at the end of this video just now with Shelly and Rachel. So here's Rachel. I'll show Rachel's physique here. This is what she's looking like. She's in great shape. She has a very solid foundation that we're building off of. We worked her calories up. She's in a good body fat zone to continue to build and continue to just focus on this reverse and hold these calories longer, maintain these calories longer, like Megan asked here in this question. So this is really, it's going to depend, guys. It's going to depend on the situation, right? My situation is different. My situation is different than Bethany's situation, whose situation is different than you know, Shelly's situation and Rachel's situation. It all just depends. It depends on what you had done before. It depends on how the reverse is going too. So, okay, I did want to cut this video because it is getting a little lengthy, but just really quickly, I will add one more here. You know what, rather than getting too into it, I'll just show you here. This is my client, Deanne. This was her transformation with me. We actually only reversed for 2 to 3 months before cutting. And you guys can see why. She was very, very overweight and we needed to make sure she got into a calorie deficit immediately. This physique here with Deanne, this starting physique, is much different than this starting physique here with Rachel when these two clients came to me, okay? So for this reason, we approach them differently and their maintenance of a higher caloric intake is going to differ for that reason. So hope this made sense, guys. Make sure you're following me on Instagram, GregCareFit, for more information like this. And if you have more questions, I'd love to answer them here in a longer format. So ask me over at Instagram. And you know, if I think I can give it a longer format answer that would help you guys, I'll certainly do that. But thanks for following along. Thanks for following the channel. Thanks for your support. If you guys are still with me through all the shit that I've gone through this year, I really fuck with you and I really appreciate you. And much love to you guys. And I will see you on the next video.